And there's another trial highlighting government lies and corruption. The Department of Justice asks the court to grant immunity to George W. Bush for the Iraq War. In court papers filed this week, the U.S. DOJ requested that George W. Bush, Richard Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, and Paul Wolfowitz be granted procedural immunity in a case alleging that they planned and waged the Iraq War in violation of international law. The lawsuit alleges that they began planning the Iraq War in 1998 through their involvement with a nonprofit that advocated for the military overthrow of Saddam Hussein. Once they came to power, the suit alleges they convinced other Bush officials to invade Iraq by using 9/11 as an excuse to mislead and scare the American public into supporting a war. And finally, the U.S. failed to obtain UN approval prior to the invasion, rendering the invasion illegal and an act of impermissible aggression. Well, that sounds legit, but the DOJ claims that in planning and waging the Iraq War, ex-President Bush and key members of his administration were acting within the legitimate scope of their employment and thus immune from suit. Well, apparently it's the Westfall Act certification that permits the Attorney General at his or her discretion to substitute the United States as the defendant and essentially grant absolute immunity to government employees for actions taken within the scope of their employment. Granting the Bush administration immunity from war crimes would be a crime in itself, but unless the American people get up off their butts and demand a trial, they might not even ever need to request immunity.